All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that trips up a ton of investors in the Pakistan Stock Exchange. Getting this right, it's absolutely crucial for keeping your shares safe. So you're ready to invest, you've got your stocks picked out, and then, bam, you hit this fork in the road. CDC Sub Account or Investor Account. I know, they sound kind of the same, but trust me, how they work is worlds apart, and it has huge implications for your portfolio security. So let's clear up the confusion and figure out which one you should be using and when. Okay, first things first, let's just quickly get on the same page about the CDC, the Central Depository Company. It's basically the backbone of the whole system. The easiest way to think of it is like a bank, but instead of holding your money, it electronically holds and protects all your shares. Both of these accounts we're talking about live inside this system, just in very different ways. Now, if you want to understand the real difference here, you've got to get their core purpose. It all boils down to one simple question. Are you here for active, day-to-day trading, or are you focused on long-term security? The best way to picture this is with a simple analogy. Your sub-account, that's your trading desk. It's built for action, for buying, for selling, for making moves. The investor account, on the other hand, is your personal vault. It's not for activity, it's for locking your valuable assets away, safe and sound for the long haul. And this brings us to the single most important functional difference. I need you to hear this loud and clear. You cannot trade, meaning you can't buy or sell shares, directly from an investor account. It's just not possible. All of that action has to happen through a sub-account. That's a hard and fast rule you've got to know. Okay, so you might be thinking, well, if I can only trade with a sub-account, why on earth would I even want an investor account? And that, my friends, brings us to the most critical question of all. Who is really in control of your shares? This is where the game completely changes. You see, a sub-account isn't really its own independent thing. It actually exists underneath your stockbroker's main account with the CDC. So the system sees the broker first, and you're kind of like a subfolder within their big file cabinet. The investor account, though, that's a whole different animal. It's your own individual account, directly with the CDC. It's not attached to or underneath anyone else. It's that personal vault we talked about, with your name on it. You and only you hold the key. So, why does this matter so much? Because your sub-account is under your broker's control, they technically have full control over it. And here's the risk. If that broker ever gets into serious financial trouble, they could, potentially, sell the shares in your sub-account to cover their own debts. This is the absolute #1 reason long-term investors need to be paying attention. Okay, so now that we understand the massive difference in control and security, the big question is, which one is right for you? Let's break it down with a super simple guide based on how you invest. Honestly, the answer really just depends on your timeline. If you're a daily trader or you're just holding stocks for a few months, a sub-account is totally fine. That's what it's designed for. But if you're a long-term investor, someone holding for years and years, the extra security of an investor account is frankly non-negotiable. So what's the pro move for a long-term investor? It's a really simple two-step process. You use the sub-account for what it's good for, buying the shares. But the moment that trade is done, you transfer those shares out of the sub-account and into your secure investor account for safekeeping. You use both accounts, but each for its specific purpose. All right, you get the theory. Now, how do you actually put this into practice? Let's turn this knowledge into action and look at the real-world steps for opening these accounts. To open that ultra-secure investor account, you got to do it the old-fashioned way. You have to physically go to a CDC office, get the form, fill it all out, and submit it right there in person. It's direct, and it makes sure you are the one setting up your own personal vault. But here's the catch, and it's a pretty big one for a lot of people. To open this direct account, you need to visit one of those physical offices, and there are only 3 of them in the entire country. Yep, you heard that right. They're located in Karachi, Lahore, and Islamabad. So that's a key logistical hurdle you'll need to plan for if you want that direct control over your shares. And what about the sub-account? Oh, that's the easy part. The second you sign up with any stockbroker to start trading, a sub-account is opened for you automatically. It's just part of the deal. If you've got 2 brokers, you'll have 2 sub-accounts. Easy peasy. So let's just boil it all down. If you take away one thing today, let it be this. Use the sub-account for its purpose, which is the activity of buying and selling. But for true long-term security, where you have the final say, you've got to move those assets into an investor account. And that leaves us with one last question. And this one is for you to think about. I want you to look at your own portfolio, your long-term holdings, the stocks you plan on keeping for years. And now that you know the difference, ask yourself, are they truly secure?